Just gonna say right now that people are particularly irate. I am collecting a coffee order from Tim Hortons through the drive-thru because only drive-thru is operational right now. The person behind me just honked at me really loudly and well, I mean, they can't control the volume of the horn, but for a really long time, all because I turned into the drive-thru and I had to adjust a little bit. So I started to back up to adjust, and like they honked at me, and if you hadn't driven up right up behind me, I wouldn't have to, like, then you wouldn't be honking at me. This is your fault, not mine. You know, if you didn't drive right up my butt, then, but obviously I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not even gonna make a hand gesture because these days people are particularly irate. And I'm wearing this because I just want to be safe. I've mentioned my situation before. I don't think I need to repeat it in every video. But I'm someone who needs this. So that's why I'm wearing it. Alrighty, let's just move on with our lives. Hello. I want to start by saying that I hope you're safe and well wherever you are. This is a really difficult time for everybody, for the whole world, actually. About 10 days ago, the schools here made the decision to close for 2 weeks after March break. 4 days after that, on the 16th of March, our Prime Minister made the decision to close international borders. The only traffic going back and forth right now is along the US-Canada border, and that's just for trade purposes. Our province is in a state of emergency. At any other point in time, we'd be going about our normal lives, but we're just not doing that right now. I am actually going to drop some food off for my parents. My parents are older. I don't like to say that they're elderly, but I guess that's probably what they are. They're both like in their 80s. My mom will be 80 soon. My dad will be 86 this year. So they are not setting foot outside their apartment. I will not be visiting with them. I won't be going inside their apartment. I'm gonna leave something outside their door. We might wave to each other from down the hallway, and then I'm gonna go back home. I just wanted to say that I hope you're well, wherever you are. I hope that you're staying inside, that you're practicing social distancing as much as possible, that, I mean, what is there to say, right? That you haven't heard already. All right, let's get going.
Penthouse.
I'm gonna call my mom from down the hall now and tell her that she can open her door. I feel like I'm far away. Enough, that's where her door is. Hi, Mama. You can open your door. I'm in the hallway. Don't rush though. Okay. Okay. Hi, Mama. Hey. Yeah, I'll come for it after you close the door. Careful with that green bag, eh?
Yes, I see.
You see it?
You're spoiling us.
Well, it's just a little something. You haven't had coffee from outside.
Take it.
There's muffin in there. Don't let it get crushed.
No, thank you.
Okay. I love you, Mama.
Okay.
Okay, bye, Mommy.
Okay.
I'll talk to you on the video.
Yeah.
Bye.
Good.
Don't let Kitty come out. Okay, bye. Yeah, you're welcome, Mommy. Okay, I'll talk to you on the phone. It's really difficult coming to it's hard because I want to hug my parents, but they're older and I'm immunocompromised, so we're like all the things that we're all the things that are challenging about this situation. I'm back home now. And I was thinking about this on the way back from dropping off coffee and some other stuff for my parents. It's a really small scale example of something. This year, I wasn't working because I had my hip replacement, so I was in recovery, but I still wasn't at work. And this was the first year that I didn't get sick with the flu and that nobody in my immediate family got sick with the flu. I didn't realize this until maybe like January, mid-January, early February. I was like, wait a second, none of us has gotten sick, thankfully. And I realized that it was because I had limited my exposure just to things in general. I'm a school teacher. I'm a French teacher. I teach mostly younger kids. And children, precious as they are vehicles for all kinds of, germs and things like that. And this was the first year that I wasn't in that level of exposure. And it was really nice not being sick with a cold or flu this year and not having anyone in my family sick with a cold or flu. Like, it was really nice. And just to take that very small example and sort of project it, I guess, to the situation that we're in now, if we all just limit our exposure and practice social distancing, maybe we too can enjoy the benefits of not being exposed to something that we ultimately don't want to be exposed to. Just a thought. All right, I'm gonna get back upstairs. I'm gonna share a recipe with you right now. I'm gonna share a recipe for a soup that I made 2 nights ago. I'm calling it isolation soup number 1. It is made from leftover lentils. I made some curried lentils over the weekend. I actually botched the recipe a little bit. I know the exact moment when I botched it too. I soaked my lentils overnight, which is great, and I would highly recommend doing it. And then I added a little too much water to my recipe, and I didn't like the texture the way it came out. But I kept these lentils and I thought I would turn them into something else so that I wouldn't waste them. Obviously, I don't like to waste food, especially in these times. I don't want to be wasteful. So I kept these watery lentils and I decided that I would turn them into a very delicious and hearty soup, which I did. I'm calling it, as I said, isolation soup number 1. And from here on out, I'm going to be really thoughtful and intentional about the content that I share with you during this time. I don't want to make content that is insensitive or that just isn't useful right now to anybody. So hopefully I'm going to figure out some things, and hopefully if you enjoy the content that I'm going to make, I'm just going to say again that I hope you are well and healthy and safe, you and every member of your family. And I will see you very soon. Okay. Isolation soup. Here we go. As I mentioned, this soup is going to use some leftover lentils, but in addition to that, I'll be using some celery, carrots, spinach, a bit of garlic. I've been trying these days to purchase vegetables that last well, and anything that has a shorter shelf life, I obviously try to consume more quickly. I'm also trying to pay attention to thoroughly washing my fruits and vegetables these days, which generally speaking we do, but it seems more important than ever. I'm cutting the vegetables to roughly the same size, and I'm going to add a little additional garlic to this recipe, as I mentioned. The lentils are already cooked according to the curried lentil recipe that is on my channel, and I'll link it for you above in the cards. But we're going to do a little cooking of the vegetables. So to a large stock pot, we're adding some oil, the chopped up carrots and celery. Want to get that going for a few minutes before adding some salt and pepper and the finely chopped garlic. After about 5 or so minutes, we can add a couple spices, some turmeric and red chilli powder. We don't need much because we're using curried lentils after all. A little splash of water will help if things are getting stuck, and then you can cover this up and cook it for about 5 minutes on medium-low heat. After that, you might see a little bit of browning at the bottom of your stock pot, which is great. That's going to help in developing some flavor. And then add your lentils. I'm adding a little bit of vegan soup base and a touch more water. Then I'm going to cover this up, bring it up to a boil, and let it cook for about 10 or 15 minutes. And that should be enough to cook the veggies through. Then turn off the heat, add the spinach, because that'll wilt in the residual heat. and a nice squeeze of lemon to just bring those flavors together. And that's it. It was a really simple and easy soup to make. I'm glad that I was able to repurpose my lentils. I don't want to waste anything, and I think it's a great idea to batch cook. You could make lentils once, enjoy them curried over rice, and then you could use that same recipe, the leftovers, to make something else. You could change it and make a totally different meal, which I think is great. So I hope you like this recipe, and I'll see you very soon. And until then, I hope you are staying well and staying safe. Bye-bye.